You're about to take a seat at your regular barstool haunt when you notice the human. You consider, briefly, turning back and going home. But you can't bear the thought another night in a dirty, depressing slum without the familiar numbing relief of alcohol worming its way through your veins. So, with little fanfare, you sit in the stool next to the mayfly and nod at the bartender. Without a word, he furnishes you with your usual. You stare at the off-white liquid for a moment before downing it in one, wincing slightly at the taste. 700 years, and it still kicks like a bitch on the way down. You curse, waving for another. The human snorts, and you're filled with indignation. It takes a moment, but you manage to school your features and ignore him. He'd be dead within the century. What was the point? In the end, it was the human that spoke first. "How long have you been here?" he asked, surprisingly clearly for the number of drinks he'd had. You ignore him. "Hey. I'm talking to you, dumbass." "What, got shit in your ears?" It was just like a human to stoop to vulgarities. You don't turn to look, but the subject of your ire can clearly see the disdain written across your face as you reach for another drink. A pale limb stops you, and you growl menacingly. The human is unimpressed. "I get it." "Oh, do I?" "You're too good to talk to the human. What's the point, am I right? He'll be dead in the blink of an eye." His voice is filled with something acrid and bitter. You turn. "Of course," you reply, deadpan. Pleasant surprise to meet a human who knows their place in the galaxy. Instead of doing something stupid enough to get himself kicked out, which you'd hoped, the human simply scowls at you. "That's real rich coming from you. Look at yourself, you bastard." 700 years, you said. You've had 700 years, and you pissed it away. You're the one that's about to do something stupid now. You managed to keep it under control, just barely. The alcohol isn't doing you any favors. "Go away," you grind out. "Go and breed a million more of your kind." He stands, and the stool makes a painfully grating noise that attracts the attention of everyone around you. "You think I'm stupid? You think that just because I don't live to be 5,000, like the rest of you, I'm worth nothing? I've heard what you bastards call us. Mayflies. Mayflies, because we die so quickly, right? Because we breed so quickly, yeah." You're about to taunt him again, make him embarrass himself in front of the crowd, but he speaks again before you can riposte. "But let me tell you something, buddy. You've got what, a millennium on me? I'm 28, so you must be, whatever, old. But look," he gestures to the bar. "We're both here." "Your point?" you ask, heart sinking. He smiles, and it's a rotten, ugly thing. "We're both losers. Except you've been a loser for hundreds of years, and I've only been for a month." His argument strikes a chord with the rest of the crowd, who, like you, are keenly hurt by the observation. It brings up old memories and self-doubts, drags along dead hopes and could-have-beens, would-have-beens. The human speaks again, and this time you're glad for the distraction. Anger is so much easier than regret. "We, humans, have only been around for a few centuries. Nothing for you guys, am I right? You all probably remember the day we were found. Lord, we must have been a sight. Wallowing in the muck of our dirt bowl, begging for help, for a way out. But you didn't give it. You argued and debated, voted and achieved consensuses and deliberated. Us. We decided that we didn't want to wait anymore. So we busted our asses and worked. We took your scraps and made something out of it. It took us several lifetimes, but we did it. We turned debris into ships, and your trash into technology. 100 years ago, we were nothing. Today, we are your biggest threat." Silence. The human looked around, as if daring anyone to argue. He turns back to you, and a small lump on his throat bobs up and down. We don't live as long as you do. But from what I can tell, that's a blessing. It takes an entire decade for you to even decide where to move your fleets. It takes centuries to even plan a building, much less a colony or a war. That's the difference between us. Where you sit on your arses and talk, we go out there and get shit done. It's why, in a century, we gained control of more star systems than you've gotten in tens of thousands of years. It's why we've made more discoveries in the past month than all of you combined have made in the past century. He trails off, panting heavily. He takes a moment to regain his composure. Calmed, he speaks again. Living for so long has made you content, stagnant. It's time for a paradigm shift, buddy. A wake-up call. That's us. The human's arm lights up as he transfers the credits for his drink. The bartender's own glows in response, slack at his side. The human makes to leave, but turns back to you at the last moment. His voice, once loud and impassioned, is now softer, almost gentle. It's never too late, you know, he says in a low voice. It doesn't have to be this way. Where are you going? You blurt out, consumed by a sudden feeling you can't put a name to, but must have felt, once. He smiles, and it's a bright, hopeful thing. To do something. And he's gone. Author's name and link to original text is in the description.